Good morning. Welcome to the Women in Leadership Body, Mind, Soul, and Business podcast. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Heather. Together, we are working to connect women in leadership and business to build relationships, empower each other, improving the health and wellness of our community, body, mind, and soul, sharing the heart and soul of who we are and what we do.
Today's guest is CEO of a boutique law firm that empowers you to grow your business with the confidence of a strong legal foundation, helping entrepreneurs honor their vision and here to help support the whole woman. Please welcome to the table the incredible Lauren Boyd. Lauren, we're so
Hi.
excited to have you.
I'm so excited to be here. I feel like we've gotten to chat a little bit, so it's kind of fun to jump in and do the recording. And hopefully we can cover all the good stuff we've already chatted about.
We will, definitely.
Absolutely. So, Lauren, let's take a few minutes here, and why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit more about your passion project, your business, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so several years ago, I was in corporate law. I was climbing the corporate ladder, really trying to kind of, decide what my legal career was going to look like. I came from a family of entrepreneurs. I think there was always that tug on my heart. And so honestly, I really, it was not really a matter of if, but when. To be honest, I never really knew I wanted to be a lawyer until I was in school. And so if you had told me that I was going to own a business and it was going to be a law firm, I think I would have laughed. I really do. But I love it because when I was in corporate law, I was driving to, commuting to work, hopping on international calls. It was a great job, but that's all it was. It was really just a job. It wasn't something that I felt like was, giving me roots in my community. It wasn't fulfilling, and I was really hoping for something more. And so I was dating my now husband. I was like, what do you think if I quit my corporate law job and start my own law firm? And he was dumb enough to say yes. And he moved in to help pay the mortgage. And I obviously married him. We now have one beautiful little girl. And, to be honest, I think the vision was all for this time when, we started our family, that we could, decide the flexibility. Right before we hopped on, we were talking about how my challenge right now is kind of figuring out what we're going to do for childcare. She's, 5 months, and we've gotten to be flexible to this point. I've had people, family members and, people that we've, gotten to know that have come in and helped. We've been able to kind of do it our way and kind of just do what feels right in the moment instead of, if I was in corporate law, it would have looked very different to go back. So, I really think all of it led up to this moment, and it's been really beautiful. And along the way, I've connected with so many incredible business owners, most of them female businesses here in the community, and many of them have become really close friends. So I really feel like, my business, as much as we love the legal stuff, there's the community element is really where I think my heart's at.
Absolutely. I remember when we first initially spoke that you were really talking about that community and that building that community. And then along with that is the people that work with you and how you treat them just really inspired us. Can you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a whole process. I think the way we do things internally as a firm and the way we operate, with my employees and my independent contractors, the way we operate, I think, really kind of emanates out to how we serve our clients. And attracting the right people on the internal team helps us serve our clients well. And, we really work on, no fear tactics. We want the firm to feel different. So, it's funny, a lot of firms, it's like eat what you kill. It's kind of the concept that they've used is what they call it. We really like to think of it more as a community. We have really incredible reoccurring clients. We've really grown by referrals. And I feel like that natural growth, which has been incredible, has been also, really aligned, has allowed us to really continue to connect with incredible business owners and people that, share our same values and that understand that, we're not going to email them back on Sunday night. And I like that for my clients. I like that as the type of client we have, but I also like that for my employees so that they get a chance to be present and be with their families and not feel like they're always plugged in.
I love that so much.
I think that is so important for
you
women.
just took the corporate
working
model
corporate.
and just like turned it up on its head and said, no, this is what we need to really do. I love that so much.
And I don't mind saying no to clients. I think I really honestly believe in buying your time back. And that if someone is, encouraging you or breaching your boundaries, encouraging you to work in a way that you don't feel that is the best way to work, I think you buy your time back by saying, you know what, actually, we're not the best fit for you. But here's a great referral to someone who might be. And so we happily will do that. To be honest, we get so many incredible referrals that are very aligned that it doesn't come up very often. But when it does, it doesn't bother me to like walk away from someone who expects us to email them on Sunday. That's not what we're here to do. We don't need the extra money and the headache. And actually our clients love it. They see it as this level of permission that we give them to, do those same things and practice those same things in their own business. They're like, hey, you have that no texting policy? Yeah, I want that. Or you're really good with your office hours. I want that. And when we're in the office, we're plugged in because we're recharged. So like they know that though we are closed on Fridays and we don't answer over the weekend, that on Monday morning, we get an email. And that feels good to me. So we just continue to lean into, what feels good and know that our business has evolved over time and it's just gotten better.
I fully appreciate the fact that you set boundaries and you stick to it, and that your clients respect those boundaries and they look at that and they're like, yeah, that's awesome. Because sometimes,
especially as solopreneurs, right? Like we're always plugged in. We're always trying to do the things. We're always working. And we forget that there's that piece of rest and rejuvenation. And
I think that's the problem with entrepreneurs is that we tend to like when we're resting, like come up with the next idea.
Our brain calms down enough
Sometimes
to give
you
us.
just have to like type that in your notes and then like get back to the rest piece. Because I think one thing I always struggle with is encouraging our clients. Like they'll be like, I'm like, so how do you guys communicate with clients right now? Well, right now but like what feels good? Like what would allow you and your team to work best? Not how have you always done it? How would you work best? And I think that that's the thing that we have to think about is we didn't quit our 9-to-5s to enter new 9-to-5s. So how can we do it differently? Like, how do we not feel the guilt from like stepping away and being present with our family? Because there's probably something out of alignment if we feel that we can't.
I think that goes really, really awesome with this week's topic, which is Raga, clinging to past pleasure. So it's about when we experience pleasure, we want that again. So if we try to recreate the experience that caused the pleasure, we won't get the same results. You know? And then, it's this vicious cycle. If we try to create this feeling,
if we're really like caught up in like we have to have this thing and this thing and this thing so that we recreate that scenario, like you're stressing out and you're not allowing it to flow and be in alignment. I love that you keep using that word alignment because that is like ultimately like how we feel like with how everything has come together, just this alignment of like who we are and what we've been working towards, like is all just stepping into our own alignment. It's like
it's incredible.
And you're right, like we don't quit that 9-to-5 job to feel like we have to be doing the things all the time.
No, and because sometimes it's not even 9-to-5, we like replace it with like 24/7. And I think that's the problem. And I think, for me, I like serving people. I like doing well by our clients. And so, there is that like pleasure in like getting back to them as soon as possible. But then I have to remember sometimes that our clients are emailing us on a Saturday because often they're thinking about it, because I've done that too. Like I've emailed someone that's been on my like wish list of chatting. And I'm like, oh, I better, email them. And then this way it's in their inbox when they're there. It doesn't mean that I actually expect a response. And I've actually started to do that with texting too. I know, like, I think we assume because we can be communicated with in all of these different mediums that we have to respond back the moment we see it. Right. And I really don't feel that way anymore. I mean, unless you're my husband or my family, it's probably a no. It's probably like, you might get a response back, like when I can, and when I'm not working, when I'm not present with her, when I'm not spending time with my husband, when I'm not with other friends. The biggest compliment I've ever been paid is that when I'm with people, I'm present. And that to me is really important. My husband teases because I never find my phone, but I want to argue that I can never find my phone because I'm not on it that much. So chicken or the egg, we don't really know. But I think that kind of goes a long way.
Absolutely.
That is a big thing, because like if you go to a lunch meeting and the phone is out on the table, like
it has this vibe, a different feeling.
It does. Even if you take it out and turn it over, like it's still there. Like it's intended to be like, it's okay to be interrupted in that time.
Yeah, it's a different feeling. And I think that it's really nice to get away from that, and nice to build a business the way that feels good to you, and know that you can actually do that. And I think that that's really important. Like, for example, my baby's crying right now. And if you can hear it, sorry, that's life.
Right. When we've got Athena here.
I bet she can hear it. She's like, where's the baby? It needs to, she's just like, I'm going to poke my head up and be a part of this conversation. There's a baby. Where's the baby? I like babies. Right?
Going
like
down
babies.
for a nap. And my kid does not like to nap.
No.
But no, I think it's a lot of the ways that you decide to practice business. And I like to tell our clients, of course, we put it in your contract, but you always have the opportunity that's kind of the hard baseline. You always have the opportunity to be more flexible than the baseline. But if you set too flexible of a baseline's way down here, it's going to be really hard to claw things back and create more boundaries. So I say, go heavy on your boundaries. And if you need to be flexible, be flexible. Do my clients tend to have emergencies sometimes? Sure. Last time one of my clients had what they felt like was an emergency, and that we hopped on kind of like get game planned out for the next week. I was 6 weeks pregnant. I have an almost 6-month-old. Like, it's been a bit, and it's because we found the right clients. Like, it does exist. I have small business clients that have, everything under the sun that could happen has happened. Like, so it's hard for people to argue, that they can't unplug, because like I could say that we can't unplug. I just built the business differently. And I'll talk to people who, I will say there's some exceptions. Like, I have a friend who's a real estate agent, and the world right now, it's like, it's all kind of go, go, go. But I think that there is probably ways to automate so you can take a breath. I think there is a way to set different expectations.
Absolutely.
But I think that's what it is. Looking at your industry, deciding how you can best set expectations, because you might like responding at 8 p.m. on that works for you in your family schedule in your life. Great, do that. But if you're not a morning person, don't make yourself available in the morning. Like, pick one. I like the morning because we're already up. I can tell you you're already up. But like, by the time the afternoon rolls around, I have to be honest, like with a kid now, like I'm like, it doesn't work for me. So I have to set up my schedule that way and feel comfortable doing it. I remember when I first set up my online calendar, I was so nervous. Like, I was like, people are going to think I'm not approachable. People are going to think I'm not available to them enough. What if they don't hire me because they feel like, I don't care enough to like set up a meeting with them directly, that I like send them off to a calendar? Does that feel cold? Like, spiraling, right?
Oh yeah.
We've been using a calendar system for 3.5 years. And I got to tell you, we haven't had to go back and forth with people on times in 3.5 years. Is there some exceptions? Absolutely. But it means that meetings are scheduled on the time when it usually works best for us. Our meetings tend to be lumped together, which works best for us. And we don't have to go back and forth and trade emails about what time we're going to meet. It's like, here's our calendar. And you know what also that underlying piece of the not having to go back and forth does, the other element is it sticks to our boundaries. If we want to do calls on Monday afternoon, not Monday morning, we're not tempted to do the easy thing and take the Monday morning call because that's the first time they suggest. They see my calendar, and I've always said, hey, if it doesn't work for you, please let me know. To be honest, people don't really say that because they'll figure out a time that works for both of us, based on the calendar. Well, I can't do this Tuesday, but I can do next Tuesday. That time works for me. Okay, I'll do that. And it feels really good. But if we make it easier to break our boundaries than it is for us to reinforce them, we're almost always going to break them. So I feel like it's finding those tools that help you keep those boundaries that, your lawyer wants you to set in their contract high, but it's also finding easy ways to keep them. So like texting, when we text, if a client texts me, because they have my phone number and they know it's a cell phone, they know they can text me. I literally have an automated response that says, I type by email. If anyone has an iPhone, you can type through these shorthand keyboards. I type by email, it auto replaces. Thank you so much for this message. Please send this to me via email so that our team can better serve you when we're in the office, yada, yada, yada. Like just a really nice little message. Because you know what, sometimes it's easier to be like, yeah, that'll work. Or yeah, let me look into that. Or it's easier to do that sometimes than it is to type come up with the wording that's like, oh, well, how can I tell them not to text me? So if you do it once, you pay, that reward keeps coming of being able to send it.
Automatic copy paste. I love it.
Well,
it's the
we use,
best.
I like that. Do you have an iPhone?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's an iPhone thing. So with Androids, we have an app called Boards, which you can use on iPhone too, but we don't have the same short keys. So we have an app called Boards, and you go to your keyboard and you open up your Boards app, and then you can I put
pick responses.
Like the responses that you already want to have in there. So you can just be like, hey, here's the website, or here's our link tree. Like I just have that easy. So I don't have to try to remember what all the things are. And then that's where you can put the quick responses. Like, so when someone emails me or sends me a text message on Saturday evening, this is the response I give them. And sometimes you have to tweak it to the right person, but changing one or two words. Depending on the situation, but depending on what your thing is, whatever the response is, I love having that available, and it creates great boundaries of I'm going to follow up with you on Monday morning when I'm back to work.
I don't even say that. You're nicer than me. I tell them, this is not going on my to-do list until you email me.
That's cool.
Because in my head, it's not on me now that you texted me on a Saturday afternoon to put it on my work to-do list. You texted me. That's not the proper means of communication. This is now not on my to-do list until you email me. So
we use a lot of Messenger
please email me. And this way I can get back to you, because it's like, if they don't email me, then it's not that urgent. Because it's not fair on a Saturday afternoon now that I have to now I have to go write this task down and pull me out of what I'm doing, because it was mostly for them. I like the idea. And now, once or twice they texted me and then they had to email me, they learn. If I broke the boundary, they probably wouldn't have learned. So
and that's what they say too about teaching people your boundaries, is you have to put it up there and then back it up.
And I don't think people do it to push our buttons or to be rude. No. I really don't. I think my clients accidentally text me because they're used to texting. I don't think they're doing it to disrupt my day. It does not upset me at all. And that's why I feel comfortable giving them what feels like an automated response. That's hey, this is not, can you email me? Because, I feel like to be honest, there's a certain level of automated response kind of I don't feel like I have to condone. I don't feel like I have to make excuses. I don't have to apologize for having this boundary. I feel like it allows me to be very direct. Hey, actually, thanks so much for emailing me or messaging me, but you need to email me. Our team will help you out if you can email us. It allows us, I think I say to, better respond and save our communications or something like that. So I give them a reason, but I'm not apologetic.
Well, that's why you set up the boundary, right? If you text me and it's really something for, your coworker that takes care of that part of the piece or something, texting you isn't going to get the job done. That's great.
Now it's one more step in my box instead of because now text, now do I copy and paste that into an email because I don't want to break their boundary by forwarding a text message. You have to kind of think of the ecosystem. So I actually encourage a lot of new entrepreneurs who might be solos right now to think about how they plan to work in the future. If it's not always going to be them, do they think texting is going to work? Because there's some people are that'll still work for me. Okay, great. But other people are actually, no, that's not going to work for me because my plan is that XYZ. Great. Let's start transitioning to that now so that you already starting to build the systems. So when that person comes in, you don't have to retrain, you don't have to train everybody, right? Train your clients the new way, train them, just start that process. And I think when you're calling in, a new person on your team and that expansion, you need to set it up in a way that actually makes, gives you that capacity that shows that you're ready for it. Mm-hmm. One of my friends, my quote that one of my friends told me that I loved was, she was kind of teasing about her husband and his cleanliness habits, we'll put it that way, around the house. And she said, we're looking for a house right now. And we haven't showed, I don't exactly know the exact way she worded this. It's been a while now, but it was kind of like, we haven't showed that we deserve it. Like, we haven't if we can't respect what if we can't respect what we have right now, we don't not deserve is the wrong word, but we basically haven't earned the right to have more. Like, you're not going to value this, you're not going to value more.
Wow.
And I really love that.
That's a really good way to talk to our kiddos. Like, hey, it's important.
Yeah.
We have a dishes 100%. Problem this morning.
Our kids are a little bit older than yours and they're all teenagers. So
my daughter's never going to become a teenager. So we're going to skip that part.
Keep them little.
Yeah.
I'm going to start giving her caffeine and see if that keeps her at the age of 6 months. Size and all the things, all of it.
Stunt her growth with caffeine. Right? I wish you could kind of put them in a time capsule, but I think each part of parenthood is just so amazing. Like watching them grow and then see them go out into the world and hear people come back and say, "Oh, your kid's doing a good job." It's just so really cool watching them become humans.
And
I love
young adults, really. My oldest is about to turn 18 in a couple weeks, and I'm having some feelings. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it's hard.
It is.
Yeah,
it's hard because for 18 years you've taught this small human, getting bigger human, how to go out and be a good human in the world, and now they're ready, and you're like, wait,
I'm not ready for you to do
that. So
I want to have control still.
Enjoy every little moment with your little one, Lauren. Yeah. We are so blessed to have you today.
I love that you've set it up too to make sure that you have the time to enjoy her at 6 months. Because a lot of moms are going back to work.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I will say, as an entrepreneur, it's hard because people are like, "Oh, how nice. Like you stop work at 2 and, all, things." But I really haven't had, and I'm not going to oh, poor me, because everything's a trade-off. Right. Mm-hmm. I have really technically kind of worked. I've been around, I've been there to support my team since the day she was born.
Yeah.
I literally was on a work call in the hospital, and not in a weird way, but not a client needed something. We had someone who was the first client ever that's really treated one of my employees with disrespect and was inappropriate, was yelling and screaming. This person I think has some issues to work through. We hadn't even done anything for her. All we've been doing was hey, we're ready to get started when you can send us this information. Hey, can you send us this information? Like gentle reminders every month, because we usually do it 1 week, 2 weeks. And then if you're still not responding and we do need something from you and fulfill something you've asked for, we'll send you gentle nudges. And she never responded to any of them. And then one day she came in, she was like, "I can't believe my work isn't done yet."
Oh, excuse me. Right.
I know that you actually saw our email, because I can see on our system. I know you saw our email from a month ago that you never responded to, and saying "Hey, we're ready to get started if you can send us XYZ." So you can't be upset with her. And she was very rude, and I just can't stand for that. So probably all of the hormones. So I'm I told her,
That was not the time to set
don't
somebody
call her.
off.
And I'm like, oh, I'm going to call her. and I was like, you know what? Don't ever call my firm again. We will happily, she had paid a little bit of money up front. I think honestly, she thought if she kicked and screamed at the right time, I think she thought she'd just get her money back, which is fine. I don't need her money. We gave her her money back. And she was like, when am I going to get my money back? And she somehow figured out how to email people back because she emailed us every day until she got her money back. She'd never emailed us before, but somehow now her email was working. So that's good.
Oh, real life experiences right here.
She was like, when am I getting my refund? And I was like, I'm in the hospital right now having my baby, not today. Don't worry. I will 100% make sure we get your money back, but it's not going to be today.
Yeah. Like I can't answer that. I'm not in the office.
We've got boundaries and we stick up for our people. I love it.
Yeah. So I was willing to in my head, it's like, I should have been off. And, we all have bookkeepers and people and, things that you need to keep going that you want to check in on. My team did an incredible job easing the load for me for the first 2 months, but you're still checking in. So it looks different. I was a little jealous of some of my friends that got the 12 weeks of just nothing.
Right.
No business, no work responsibilities because they were on FMLA. There was a little part of me that was like, oh, but you know what? When they went back to work and I got to go back to work 2 days a week and then 3 days a week and then 4 days a week, but shorter days, and decide what that looked like and decide if on a Tuesday I just wanted to spend time with her and I could block my schedule. That's why I made those other sacrifices. It's all a trade-off.
Yeah.
And, it's been hard. I mean, building a business is not an easy thing. And, it's really rewarding. It's like having kids. I feel like there's so many parallels to having a business and having kids.
Yes.
Yes.
That's why we're so good at it, right?
There are. And you're just learning some of those parallels too, personally,
100%.
Well, Lauren, we love having this conversation with you, but unfortunately we have run out of time.
We dropped all your links in the descriptions
Excellent.
and everything so people can reach out to you.
Yes.
And you help businesses all the way. You do anything you can help them get. What do you do?
We are really focused here in Arizona on Arizona specific law stuff. So employment law stuff, it's Arizona law. So we're licensed here in Arizona. If it's federal law, so big thing, wherever you are, if you want to own your brand with a trademark, if you need support on copyright issues, if you need that kind of federal law, national level stuff, we can totally help you. If you want to get in the weeds on state law stuff, then we might have a loving referral for you if you are not here in the state of Arizona. But we really do believe in the power of, owning your brand and that level of confidence that comes with that. So if that's something that you're curious about, you could listen to our podcast, which is getting a rebrand, but right now it's the Lauren Boyd Show. We have a ton of excellent episodes on point, so you can kind of learn a little bit about it. If you want to see cute baby pictures, you can look at my Instagram. And then a lot of our really good trademark content is on our business Instagram page at Guide My Business. So follow along with that and you might get some, it might get your juices flowing on some things that you might need.
Awesome. Oh my gosh.
So
I'm so glad I got to do this. This was so fun catching up with you guys again.
Me too. Hang out for just a couple more minutes. Our quote this week is, "Whenever you will be attached, there you will go." Kirpal Singh.
Perfect.
We've got a lot of things going on this week. Tonight we have our Women Empowering Women networking meeting at Ham and Bread in downtown Arlington. You can find us there. And
networking gala. So that's been our cause of the quarter. They're a really great networking group that supports young ladies facing diversity and get some scholarships in through college. And their gala is tomorrow night. And we're very excited to be there. So that's been our cause of the quarter. And in addition, you are our last episode for this season. Yay! So thank you so much, Lauren.
For helping us wrap up season 2. We are looking forward to having you back sometime in season 3.
Love.
And so for our listeners, please look forward to seeing Lauren again. And thank you all for joining us on the
Women in
Women in
Leadership,
Leadership, Body, Mind, Soul, and Business podcast. Namaste.
Namaste.